Hi guys and gals, Froggy here. This is my 2000 Ford Explorer, and I've got a squealing sound when I start it up. I'm alone, so I'm going to have to start it up. I opened up the hood, so I think you'll be able to hear it. I think it's the idler pulley, but I'm going to show you how to replace that. Let's try this first and see if it makes a noise. Yeah, okay, I think you should have heard that. Now I'm going to pull it up to the garage and I'll show you what I think it is. Okay, what I'm going to do is walk you through part 2. I'm going to call it part 2 of this belt squeal. And it turns out I did another video. That right there is the idler pulley. That's a new one. It wasn't that. I put that in there. I didn't need to, but anyway. It was like a $20 part, so I'm not worried about it. What it turned out being was the tensioner, which is this piece down here. It has a pulley on it and a tensioner. And also, I think my belt was the wrong size by a little bit. So I'm going to tell you guys and gals a little bit about belts. But first, to how I fixed it, you need to take your beauty cover, your engine cover off, and take your air intake off. That just has 4 little screws. That has that one clamp there, and it has an electrical connection, 2 pipes that go to it, and then the part that clamps down to the air cleaner. So that's pretty easy to come off. Don't even think about trying to do a tensioner or an idler without taking these 2 pieces off. It's just not going to work out for you. Now let me show you the old, here's the old tensioner right here. And I put some white marks on it to show you how it's supposed to work. This puts tension on the belt. It's got a spring inside. You can see a little bit of the spring sticking out there, just a coiled spring. This white dot, this reference dot, is supposed to, when it's installed and working, it's supposed to be in between these 2 outside lines. I put white paint on them so you could see them, but they're just lines that are cast into the piece. And this old tensioner, the white dot, it was putting maximum tension on the belt, but it wasn't enough to keep the belt from squealing. Here's the old belt. There isn't really anything wrong with this belt, except I think it's a little bit too long for this engine application. Now I'm going to do a sidebar here on the length of belts. There's a code on most belts. I think probably on all belts. Let me find the box it came in. Oh, where'd it go? Hold on a second. Okay, here's the box it came in. The original belt, this one right here, has a code of 2195. See, it says the old belt 2195. And my tensioner could not put tension on it because the belt was too long. So I bought a new tensioner. I showed you that. It's installed in the engine. This is the old one right here. And I got a shorter belt. I tried I made a lot of trips to Pep Boys and finally ended up with a 2185 belt. Now every 5 numbers that this changes, it's a different size belt. And I can't tell you exactly how much. I want to say like a 1/2 inch overall length of the belt, but I could be off on that, so I don't know. But I had a 2210, 2205, 2195 was the old belt. 2190 they did not have in stock, and he said they don't really even make a 2190, so he could be right. And then he gave me this 2185. The 2185, now let's go back to the engine. You see, this one has, now let me get rid of the flashlight. This one has two little ears here. This, and then this part rides in the middle of those two. So it's similar to the other one. It's a different company, so it's a little bit different design. So you want the belt to be the right size to put the tensioner about in the middle. Yeah, it could be over here a little bit, it could be over here a little bit. I'm not worried about that too much, but you want it to be in the middle of these two. You never want this to be up against that or up against that. Then you're either getting way too much tension or you're not getting any tension at all. Now this belt is quiet, totally quiet. I started it up about a half a dozen times and there's no squeal at all. It's a new belt, it's a Daco belt, and they have good belts. There's some other manufacturers that have good belts too. So I'm not necessarily just promoting that one. So, this one bolt, after you get the belt off, oh, let me tell you how to get the belt off. All the tensioners have a place where you can take a 3/8 drive ratchet and put it in. I'm going to show you on the other one actually, it's a little easier. You put your 3/8 drive ratchet into the hole like that, and then you just turn it, and that's how you tighten and loosen it when it's on the engine. Okay? So that's how you take the tension off, and when you take the tension off, then you can just slip the belt out of this idler here. Just slip it off the bottom, okay, because there's no tension on it. Always make sure that your routing of the belt is correct. Most, if not all, cars have a diagram under the hood, so follow that. There, you could put it on a different way and it might look right, but it won't be right. So, let's recap here. We took off a few parts to access the tensioner. We unbolted the old ones, just this one bolt here. We bolted the new one on. We got a belt that's a better size than the one that was on there originally. We put our 3/8 drive in here, took the tension off. Well, let me explain. You have to lay the belt out. You lay it out so that it's going around each one of the pulleys correctly, except this one. This one, it comes over on the top and the belt is loose. Then you take your 3/8 drive ratchet, get the tension off of this. That puts slack in the belt, and then you take the belt and you shove it underneath here. And then you let the tension come back over here, and that tightens everything up. So, basically that's what it ended up being. The squeal that you heard in the first part of the video was a combination of the tensioner. It pretty much served its purpose, its useful life. Had about 135,000 miles on it, and the belt was one or two sizes off. Anyway, that's a belt squeal fix on a 2000 Ford Explorer. Hope this helps you out. If it does, give me a thumbs up or a like, and if you want more from Froggy, just click on the subscribe. It's free, and we'll do more. Let me take one thumbnail shot of this. There. Okay, and we're done. See you later, guys and gals. Bye-bye.